Right, so there's my sped up section for the feet. So you've got 1, 2, and then the front foot. So you've got all that work there. So you have to make the first foot, which is the front foot. So you've got all that to make that foot. And then you've got to make 2 sets of feet. You got one for the front foot, which is identical to that foot. So you've got 2 of those, 1, 2. Now they're identical to that, but you have to do it off the 2 screws, which is F1 and F2, because you've got one for the front feet and then you've got one for the rear feet with like a claw, and them interlock. Trying to pull that out. You can see they interlock with the front foot on the back leg. So you've got the claw that surrounds the back leg of the front foot. So just leave that in there like that. So once you've done those, then you've got to put it into this housing, which is 2 halves. And in the joining leg of the foot, you've got like the front will have an L shape, and then the back one with a claw has just a normal rectangular, and you just plug those into the little pegs on the legs there. Once you push them together, then you've got some more housings that'll go onto the middle housing. Again, you put those together and that's that. Now mounting these, you've got like a little cutout tab there, and you've got a small tab and a big tab, and that locks into there like that, and you just push that into place, and that's it. That just sits in there. And then you've got the same for this one, again with your little cutout tab and your small tab and your big tab, and you've got the cutout for the LED. So you just slot that into the slot there, and then just push that into place. You don't even need to fully push it into place. And then with the front leg, you've got like 2 little cutout tabs there that fit onto those little tabs there. You've got the circular cutout for the LED, and you just push that down. So it gives you the option of doing it in flight mode or landing gear mode. Like I said, I'm probably going to display it on the standing flight mode. Like I said, when people come round, I'm going to have the boarding ramp, just the plate, take the plate off, take the plate off for that, because there's probably going to be a covering plate, and then just put the feet in just to show it in the landing gear mode. So that was actually quite easy to get that in. I wasn't sure whether the little gaps here, you could see where they won't fully connect. I wasn't sure if that was going to be an issue, so what I'll have to do is I'll probably just super glue those together and use the tweezers to hold them into place while the glue dries. But the landing gear is not looking too bad now. So I'm just going to pause this a sec. Right, so turning it over, and that stands quite well on the landing gear. Not too bad actually. So there's the one. If I just actually I probably should have just turned this round slightly. Move those out the way. So looking underneath there, it stands really well on the rears as well, and on the front there. So that's not too bad, that, eh? Yeah, that don't feel wobbly at all. So that's the landing gear done, and that's page 38 finished. Right, next page 39. So it's just basically this plate, all the work and bits and bobs on this plate, that plate, and some work on the side pod. So you got a panel on the top plate. You can either use 2 kit parts for the vents, or you can use photoetch. I've used photoetch. So I just spray painted them, primer, then the insignia white, cut them out, and just dropped them into the plate, into those little recessed holes, and just drop a drop of super glue. You put them plates on, there's your checklist, and then the rest of the work. So there's the plate work, and then the bit for the side pod. So that's all that. Very fiddly work indeed. Right, so the top plate, you've got your photo etch, which you drop from inside. Again, just drop it, just place it into the recessed channel area, and just drop a super glue inside. Turn it over. I'll put that piece on first. I probably should have put the side pieces on first, and then drop that on top. So that was what might be worth doing, side pieces first. Then you've got the pieces that I've put on. So you've got that square piece there, that little rod there. So you have the rod, and then a little bit of a tab, probably about 2-3 mil long, that goes in the hole there. You've got that hexagonal shape there with the hole that sits on top of the photo etch. Just be very gentle, you push that in, just in case the photo etch decides to pop down, but luckily it didn't. I've got a piece there and a piece there. I've got 2 pieces, these square rod pieces that are hollow there. What else have I got? And then I've got this rectangular piece here, which looks like half a tank. So that's that done. Right, there's also that little dinky part as well. And then going round to the side pod, trying to balance this in my hands. You've got that rod there, which was like it was like a Y-shaped rod. That Y-shaped rod, that Y-shaped rod, and that Y-shaped rod. And that's all page 39 done. Right, on to page 40. Page 39 was that side pod area. Page 40 is this side pod area on the opposite end. So I started with the top plate. Again, kit parts, just one kit part. Or you've got the photo etch for the vent. So you can either use the kit part vent or the photo etch. I use the photo etch. And you just drop that from the inside, just put a bit of super glue in, and that's that. Then you've got the 2 side panels, and then you put that top plate on. You've got the side pod Y-shaped bits, and then you've got all the little, that's your Y-shaped bit. There's your checklist for the top plate. So you've got all them parts, the tiny parts, very fiddly work, and that would complete page 40. So there's the completed page. So what I did is I put the side panels on first. Once those had pushed into place using my thumb, I then put the top plate in. That was actually quite easier, to be honest. So I'll just push that down all the way down the side. Then you've got the parts. So you've got 2 triangular parts, like rods, connecting a tab there, and then they just rest on the back here. You've got 2 little tank-like pieces. This rod, which connects in a hole there and just rests on the top there, so you just put a drop of glue there. Square piece before you do all the triangular bits and these tank pieces. You've got 2 rods, 1, 2. There wasn't a cap on there, the hexagonal cap like on that one. That was already built in, so I don't understand why that was an extra part on the other one. You got a little rod here that goes all the way around. That's 1 piece. You've got a little dinky piece there, and you've got like this T-rod shape thing here. And I think that's it. Yeah, for the top. And then much like the other side of the side pod, you've got 4 little like Y rod pieces. You got 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then that completes page 40. Right, page 41. There's the remnants of page 40 with those 2 like triangular bits which I showed you, that little piece there. It's time to start Han's cockpit area, bloody gunner turret area. So I haven't done any of the turret, and I haven't done the turret plate where you connect it to the actual turret area, because I'm still waiting on Revel to get back to me, see if they can give me those extra wires. Right, so there's Han all complete. Let me just switch the flash on. There's Han all complete. Pretty much rinse and repeat from Luke's gunner area. So I'll just primed the two sidewalls, painted them all up, rinse and repeat, pretty much all the same colours, and then just done Han's seat and the actual controls, and just mounted them on as it says there. So again, I'm not doing anything with this top turret area, nothing until Rev will get back to me, or if any of you guys have got any got any suggestions. So that's it for page 41 at the moment.